Hello, class. A very pleasant morning to all of you. I hope that you all are doing well in this situation. My dear students, welcome to the online teaching classes of St. Thomas High School, Mahua. Today, I, Richa Parekh, am here to further continue with the subject of social science for the students of class 8th. My dear students, during the last lecture, we saw that how did the revolt of 1857 affected in Gujarat. So today we are going to see how did the revolt end. Let's start with the topic end of the revolt. During the revolt, weapons and soldiers were supplied to the Britishers from England, Iran, etc. The revolt had started on 10th May 1857, but by the end of June 1857, the Britishers were able to regain the control on Banaras and Allahabad. Kanpur was recaptured by the end of July and Delhi in September 1857. Bahadur Shah Zafar and his queen Begum Zeenat Mahal was imprisoned and exiled to Rangoon, the capital of Burma, where they died after few years. Their three sons were murdered. So during the revolt of 1857, the Britishers got their army, got their soldiers from England and Iran, etc. The revolt ended at various dates due to the misbehavior of the Britishers and Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was leading this revolt, and his queen were imprisoned by the Britishers and were moved to Rangoon by the British in order to get themselves imprisoned, and their three sons were murdered by the Britishers. Lucknow was recaptured in March 1858. Jhansi fell because of the treachery of one of their courtiers of Jhansi. As a result, Lakshmibai escaped towards Kalpi, where she died while fighting a battle with the British troops. Even Lucknow was recaptured by the Britishers, and Jhansi was also captured due to the lack of one of their treacheries, and as a result, Rani Lakshmibai, who was fighting with the Britishers, died in the battle. Nanasaheb Peshwa escaped to Nepal after the final defeat. It was believed that he lived in Shihor village of Bhavnagar district of Gujarat, where he is believed to have died in 1902. It is said that Tatya Tope was captured, but due to the betrayal of one of his allies. At last, even Tatya Tope, who was the main commander in chief who fought against the Britishers, was captured due to the betrayal. That means he did something wrong to Tatya Tope, and at last he was also captured. According to the official documents, he was hanged on 18th April 1859. But however, as per the sources which they come to know are Tatya Tope had managed to escape and someone else was hanged in his place, and it is believed that he had spent his last years of his life in Navsari village. So even Tatya Tope, who was captured by the Britishers, was hanged according to their report on 18th April 1859. But as per the government officials, as per the other sources through which we come to know that Tatya Tope managed to escape at the time of his hanging, and someone else was hanged in his place, and he spent his rest of his life in Navsari. So now let's see, why was the revolt of 1857 a failure? The revolutionaries failed to retrieve the power from Britishers due to their limitations. Some of them were: the first one, the rebels lacked coordination. There was an absence of centralized leadership. There was no provision of reinforcement of men, money, and ammunition. The rebels lacked coordination. That means there was no coordination among the people who were going to start the revolt against the Britishers, and hence there was lack of central leadership. There was lack of a particular person who is ruling the entire revolt. There was absence of that leadership, and there was also no provision. There was no arrangement made for men, money, and arms. The second reason, the outbreak of the revolt happened way before the pre-planned date, and as a result the planning was disrupted and it alerted Britishers. The revolt, which was going to be started on a different date, was actually premature. That means it was done before the planned date, and as a result the planning was disturbed and it alerted the Britishers about the revolt. The revolt remained concentrated largely in North India. Many social reforms refrained directly or indirectly from joining the revolt. This proves that the intellectual class did not support the revolt. Many people of North India were in large support of Britishers, and hence it proved that the intellectual class, those who were intelligent and approximately belonged to a high class area, did not support the revolt. India is a country known for its regional diversities in languages, food habits, dressing, etc. Before the British rule, the people were ruled by the regional dynasties. As a result, the sentiments of nationalism, belongingness to India as one nation had not developed either in people or in their leaders. Many leaders either sided with the British and remained passive at the time of revolt. So India at the time before Britishers was a regionalism, used to follow a regionalism dynasties. That means they used to follow various religions. Kings used to follow various rules and regulations. Therefore there was no feeling that they are Indians. They used to follow their particular dynasties, and hence the feeling of nationalism was not present in them. So this was also the reason that many leaders and even the Britishers had a great advantage at the time of revolt. The Sikh and Gurkhas fought by the side of British, which proved to be the major disadvantage for the rebels. The Sikh people and the Gurkha people used to fight along with the Britishers with the Indians, and hence it was the major disadvantage for the Indians. The British had a superior army, weapons, and military commanders compared to the rebels. Hence, the Britishers had army which was quite superior, and the weapons and the military commanders were also in large number compared to those revolutionaries. All the leaders were fighting for regaining their power or Union territories lost to the Britishers. They were not fighting for the freedom of nation, and hence each and every leader, each and every revolutionary was fighting for their own purpose. They were fighting for their own territories which they lost the power, and they were not fighting for the freedom of the entire nation, and hence these were the main reasons why did the revolt of 1857 failed. In the next class, dear students, we will learn the effects and the consequences, and also I'll share a PDF file in which the question answers of this chapter will be given. Till then, stay tuned with the lectures and stay safe. Thank you.